911.
I don't know. There was an explosion in my house.
Ma'am, do you see anything on fire?
No, I don't, but the lights are completely off, and I was woken up by a big explosion.
We had an earthquake. Is anyone injured there?
It's really incredible to be shaken out of a sound sleep like that.
Napa 4, earthquake I see.
Respond code 3 for significant structural damage.
You just want it over with. It just seemed like it went on and on and on.
Do we know where the epicenter was yet and what the magnitude was?
My wife and I were hearing things break in our house, and then our minds just went off, worrying about our kids that are all over town and different places, and wondering if it's this bad here, how bad is it somewhere else?
State Assemblymember Bill Dodd vividly remembers the earthquake that rocked Northern California's wine country in the early morning hours of August 24, 2014. The 6.1 temblor, centered in Napa County, was the strongest to hit Northern California and the Bay Area since the devastating Loma Prieta earthquake of 1989, which hit just after 5 p.m. in the middle of rush hour, causing utter devastation.
We were very, very fortunate, I think, in Napa that it was 3 o'clock in the morning instead of during the day, because I think all over there would have been a lot more problems.
Okay, what's going on there?
I don't know. I don't know what happened, but something. We just heard I don't know if it was an earthquake or something.
Okay, there was an earthquake. Is anybody injured or need an ambulance or anything?
Because most people were in their homes when Napa's earthquake occurred, only one person died. Another 200 were injured. However, damage to the region's buildings and infrastructure is tallied in the hundreds of millions of dollars.
And local governments just don't have a lot of money lying around, for infrastructure improvements that are damaged by a natural disaster like this.
The city of Napa estimates the earthquake caused at least $300 million in damage to homes and commercial properties. Napa's public buildings and infrastructure was dealt a $58 million blow. In Vallejo, damage topped $5 million, and Sonoma County's damage is estimated at $4.5 million. Other communities were damaged as well. Funds from the federal government and FEMA covered about 75% of that damage, leaving cities and counties to pay the rest of the tab.
In this area, the South Napa Fault kind of runs right through.
That's why Assemblymember Dodd, a Napa native, authored Assembly Bill 18, which would allow the state to step in and help cities and counties cover the rest of the cost of repairing the earthquake damage, a total estimated at around $5 million. If the help doesn't come, local governments could be forced to make cuts in other areas.
What it means is cutbacks in services, fire and police, streets and roads. There's any number of things that, Health and Human Services for Napa County, they've got to find a place, to cover those costs, because those are the buildings that have been damaged are essential buildings to provide services to the citizens of Napa.
And many of those buildings, including Napa's historic courthouse, are still being repaired almost a year after the earthquake. But if AB 18 is enacted, communities won't have to endure increased cutbacks in essential services while they rebuild.
Copy Engine 6 responding to Mark.
This report was produced by the Speaker's Office of Member Services.